of good games today, but the game that I care most about is the Patriots Texans game. Now, coming in this game, we heard a lot of things, mostly about how the Texans defense is going to be too much for the Patriots offense, and how they don't trust the offensive line, and Brady doesn't have any weapons. Well, we saw what happened, and what happened is what usually always happens. Tom Brady finds a way. Had 3 touchdowns for 277 yards, 1 interception off the tip ball. So I'm not going to really put too much on him for that one. That was just, one of those things that happened. Good defensive play. And pretty much he went to his core guys like you pretty much knew he would. He went to Gronk. He hit White. I think he tried to hit Hogan on a couple throws, but he couldn't really come up with anything. A lot of them were contested anyway. He made 1 reception for the day, but that was about it. Philip Dorsett has come through. As of now, he's pretty much come through to where they needed him to be. I know, a lot of people had concerns about the weapons, and people weren't too sold on Philip Dorsett. Well, Philip Dorsett has shown, at least for this game, that he is a reliable weapon. And Tom Brady also had some nice things to say about him. He was impressed with him. Let's see, I'll save the negatives for later. But right now, I'm going to get on the defense. Now, the defense pretty much played great. I had a feeling that they were going to play great, and they pretty much played great. Ugh, why I keep wiping my eyes? My eyes must be irritated or something. Ugh, forgive me. Now, the defense pretty much played great, but they kind of stalled out at the end of the game and allowed a lot of runs. So I think that's one thing that they're going to be working on. A lot of those running plays, they didn't seem to prepare because it was one drive where the Texans just ran it down their throats and they couldn't do anything about it. But for the most part, the defense was pretty solid. 3 sacks. Good job. I was looking at the game and I was like, we have a pass rush. Yeah. But one thing that was curious, I found curious was there were plays where they'll do a lot of the earlier downs, and I didn't see Claiborne out there. I'm not sure. Maybe that's something that they're trying. At first I was thinking, first play of the defense, we're going to see Claiborne out there. And it was Van Noy, Butler, Flowers, and Shelton, and sometimes Brown. And we didn't really see Claiborne out there until it was either trying to protect the red zone, or it was on those last 3rd down plays and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty interesting. They obviously got depth at the defensive end position, at least for this year, and that's pleasing to see, especially if you're going to compare it to last year where there was pretty much 0 to no depth at that position. So one positive that went from a negative to a positive is if you're counting this year and then comparing it to last year. So yeah, pretty good. Special teams. Now, something weird on special teams that I'm not sure if everybody noticed, but they had trouble, at least when it came to the kickoff and all that, in the coverage. They allowed a lot of 30-yard returns. I think the guy had an average of 29 or something like that. So just had to. I think special teams is going to have to go back in the books and find a way to handle that, because there's going to be some teams where there's going to have some returners that are just straight burners, and they have to be prepared for that. But for the most part, I think special teams did all right. They had a nice one where Ryan Allen punted the ball and he landed it in the 1 yard line or behind the 1 yard line, which I thought was just amazing. What else? Negatives. All right, now every game you're gonna have a few negatives. You're not always gonna have a perfect game. One negative that stood out from the few that we had was the muff kickoff return by Riley McCarron. I mean, he's this is his first time in the system. He's a new guy. He has to do better on those. But if he continues to do things like that, then he might find himself on the bench very quickly, because everybody knows that Bill Belichick only gives you so many opportunities, and he definitely will not allow you to continuously turn the ball over. If he sees that you're a turnover problem, you're either going to find yourself benched or you're going to find yourself on a different team. It's happened before. We've seen it happen before. Bill Belichick doesn't play that. He does not play the fumble game. He does not play the fumble game. If he sees somebody that's like a fumble is, he will take you and sit you on your butt, and you will not see the field for the remainder of the season. Cyrus Jones could probably attest to that. Belichick does not play about that. So hopefully that was just a one-time thing, and just first game jitters for McCarron, and hopefully he comes back back from it. As far as that goes, didn't really have a lot much to say. As far as what I've just said, again, highlighting the defense. For most of the game, defense did a stellar job, especially containing Watson in the back. I was going to see how they were going to be able to handle quarterback that is one of those dual threats who is just real good on his legs and good at chucking the ball up. And for the most part, they didn't allow Watson to do his usual footwork, and that's another positive. They kept him in the pocket and forced them to make quick throws, and it worked out in their favor. So, offense, if I could give a grade for the offense, I would give it B minus, and pretty much B minus because Brady pretty much kind of made that happen. The offensive line did a pretty good job protecting them and helping out the run, but there's still a lot of things that they can improve on, especially Rob Gronkowski with the fumble. Defense, if I could give the defense a grade, it would probably be a B, because while they did contain and play good on the run most of the game, there was that one drive, and then you also have the times where they just allowed a lot of deep passes. Well, not a lot of deep passes, but a couple deep passes that could have been avoided, but mainly it was the run. The secondary did a good job, but it was mainly that run that just got at handling the run game that just got at me. So, pretty much almost perfect except for that one thing. So, B, don't get too upset with that. It's just my opinion. Special teams, C, only because as far as Ryan Allen and Gronkowski, Gronkowski made all of his extra points and he made his field goals. So, hey, good job. Ryan, he did his job. He had that nice punt that put it way in their 1 yard line like that. But they have to do a better job at the coverage when it comes to the kickoffs. They can't allow people to just break off for those big runs. So that's one thing they have to work on. And that's pretty much about it. This has been Rachiim McDaniel with another game review. Signing off.